7:05, so let's get started. So, Noah, if you don't know me, I help organize this meeting. I try to get other people to MC, and I call him Mondo, but he's not here. He had a kid thing come up, so stuck with me. So, on Austin.RB, we used to go around the room and say our name and where you worked or something, but then they got too big. It's like 90 people, so that's a long time. So, since we're still small, I like to do that and just say your name, where you work, you're hiring, you're looking for work, and how about your favorite gem? So, why don't you start?
Excuse me, I'm Tom Brown, an independent software developer, and my favorite gem is Off-Logic.
My name's Trevor, I'm a paramedic, and my favorite gem is Echo.
Yeah, I'm Michael Vidic with ThoughtWorks, and I don't use Ruby enough to have a favorite gem. And yeah, we're hiring.
My name is Laura Murata, and I'm looking for work, and I don't use Ruby enough to have a gem.
I'm Michael Barata. I'm a technical writer. I don't need gems or Ruby.
No
I'm
gems.
just here.
Tim.
I'm Tim Tyrrell. I'm a software engineering team lead with Well Match Health. We're not hiring anymore. We're about to, yeah, of course. My favorite gem. I'm freezing up, so I'm gonna say shit.
My name is Paul. I'm at HEB. Registered. My favorite gem. I know it's called Digimeme. I don't know, you may have heard it. It's pretty cool. It's called Digimeme_.
I'm Eric. I work at SpiceWorks. Work in hiring, I'm pretty sure, by the way. And my favorite gem, I've been working with this MIDI gem that this guy wrote. I forgot the name.
I'm Christina. I'm currently a student in Square. So a gem that we use today is PGP. That's my favorite.
My name is Kyle. I work up here at Bull Local, and my favorite gem is Rubyists.
Philo, up downstairs, and I'm also in PGP. I'm Britt. I work at Thompson downstairs. I think my favorite gem is Time Cop because it's got a good name.
Tough guy.
Yeah, feel good about it.
Mason, Buffalo, and Clearance.
I'm Salini, I work at the UT, and unfortunately I have no gem as well.
My name is Joseph Tingsachali. I work at NetSmith. My favorite gem is Pre-Viva, or Pre-Viva to some.
My name is Brian. I work at Google, the office here downtown, and I don't currently have a favorite gem.
My name is Mark Hurl. I work with Baybridge Administrators on 360, small business, small insurance business. Been doing some Ruby, so I'm all over the map. I like them all.
I'm Nola. I've been on consulting since September full time. Your gem is Factory Girl because it's freaking awesome. And Mondo, want to say your name, saying where you work, your hiring, and your favorite gem?
My name is Mondo. I work at Unionmetrics. We do social media analytics. We are hiring. You can talk to me afterwards. My favorite gem is the one that never breaks and I never have to update.
Alright, so Caleb's our speaker. He's been a software engineer since 2008 and experienced in assembly, Java, C++, C#, and Ruby on Rails. Since 2012, Caleb has been a developer at Thoughtbot, makers of web and mobile apps. And he's going to speak about PGP and NU, or Pete, the care and training of a PGP. Take it away.
Hi. As introduced, I am
Caleb Thompson. I work at Thoughtbot. I also organize Keep Ruby Weird. You've been there. You've been there.
It was awesome.
You've been there. You organize it. A lot of you have been there. And recently I started a security newsletter called Pretty Good Weekly. It's had one issue. You can go to, if you're interested, you can go to calebthompson.io/prettygood and subscribe there. All right, what is this PGP thing? It's Street Pass for nerds. PGP is going to give you security. It's going to let you, it's all about communication. So it's going to let you securely communicate with people, meaning that only the person that you're talking to can see what you're trying to say. And it lets you verifiably talk to people, which means that you can be reasonably sure that you're talking to the right person. To sort of short circuit the question, there's the PGP, there's the OpenPGP, there's the GPG, GNU PG. We'll go over all of that, but first, pretty good privacy, PGP for short, or OpenPGP is a standard that allows encrypted communication between individuals. You might have seen something that looks like this. You've got this message, and all around it you've got a bunch of gobbledygook that doesn't mean anything to you. Maybe you got a no name or a signature.asc attachment. Didn't really know what to do with it. Well, here's how you can tell. If it's there, it's probably fine. Thank you for coming. All right, so what that is, it's a PGP signed message, and it means that it's cryptographically verifiable as having been signed by a specific key and representing a specific message. So this text here, and so this signature changes if this text changes, meaning that if the text changes and the signature doesn't, then it's no longer been, you can tell that somebody else has changed it. And the signature changes if the person who signs it changes. So you know who said what for sure. PGP also lets you encrypt messages so that intended recipients are the only ones who can see them. So if I want to send Brett a message, he doesn't have a PGP key or a computer, so I'm not going to do that. If I want to send Mason a message though, then I can do that and I know that he's the only person who's going to see it. So messages, I keep on saying messages, and that could be an actual, like, hi, how are you sort of message, but it can also be like a hash for a software project. So if you passed like all of the source code for a project into a SHA algorithm, then you could sign that, and you know that because the SHA would change if any of the code changes, and you have signed a SHA, you know that you can be pretty sure that the package came from a specific, you can be absolutely sure that a package came from a specific key, and you can be fairly sure that it's coming from a trusted developer. So some pretty big names do this: Debian, Apache, the Linux kernel, apt, so apt-get install. They're doing this to, pretty much for free from the end user's perspective, add another layer of security to make sure that you're getting the right software when you install something. So we're going to go over a few different things. We're going to go over how to generate the keys, how to send and receive encrypted messages, how to sign other people's keys, how to trust other people's keys. And that's a lot of stuff. We're not only going to go over how to do those things, we're also going to go over what any of that means and why you would want to do it in the first place. But first, we have to install it. So I gave you some instructions. I'm sorry, they were wrong. We'll get to that. OpenPGP is a standard. PGP is an implementation of the OpenPGP standard, which is now owned by Symantec. We're not going to use that. GNU PG is the free and open source implementation of OpenPGP. They called it GPG because they had to be the opposite of PGP because they're jerks. Homebrew has a few different versions of this. I told you to install GPG 2. So GPG will give you 1.4, GPG 2 will give you 2.0 something, GPG 2.1 will give you 2.1 point something, which map to the classic, stable, and modern branches. So between the time that I sort of wrote up the slides and where I wrote up the abstract and today, these are the instructions that I gave you. They're wrong now because there's been a new release and it's major, so we're not going to use the old one anymore. Because if you're getting started, you should get started on the newest thing. So if you have done that, this is going to be sort of workshop-y. If you have done that, if you have this installed on your system, you want to have the modern branch, this is the first thing that we need to do. Run this command. If you are not on a Mac, good luck. I can help you use the tool. I cannot help you install it. You should already have GPG installed because it's used in a lot of your underlying tools. Apt. But if you are on a Mac, please do this now. Tell me when you're done. No, wait. He's done. I'm done waiting. All right, next step. We need to make sure that we've tapped homebrew versions. You probably have already. And then we're going to install the OpenPGP 2.1 version of this. Welcome.
So if we didn't get that first step,
This one? Oh, by the way, you don't have internet access. That's stupid. Connect to Capital Factory. Just keep Austin hacking all one word. I'm not gonna write it down because I'll get into trouble.
Okay, one.
Yes.
That one installed.
GNU PG2, GPG agent, and dir manager. So the second two are dependent packages that GNU PG2 installed. But the new version, the modern branch, ships those along with it, and so they conflict. Too small? Good. Okay, so one other thing that changed is the way that files are actually stored that GNU PG uses. So I recommend doing this to make a backup of your old files. Just copy your .GNU PG directory to something else. .GNU PG.stable is a reasonable thing to do. Because the first time that you actually use GPG, which is the binary that ships with this, it's going to rewrite a lot of files in there, and things could get lost. So do this only if you've actually got any pre-existing secret keys and public keys, which you would know if you had. I can't really tell if anybody's doing anything, so if you are doing something, go ahead and let me know so that I stop for you.
I got GNU PG 2.
Perfect. All right, so the important thing to do.
2 slides back?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I got this behind.
You may have to do brew update. I had to.
That's a good idea.
PG2.1.
Okay. So generating a key. So to get anywhere with PGP, you really have to have a key pair. So a key pair is composed of 2 different parts, a public key and a secret key, a private key. Public key, you're going to publish everywhere. You're going to make it as easy for people to find as possible. I include mine in every email I send. I include it in, I've got it pushed up to key servers, which means it's sort of pretty easy to get with just about any PGP implementation. It's up on my website. I've got my fingerprint, which is related to it, up on my Twitter bio and all sorts of shit. It's going to allow others to encrypt messages to you and verify that messages that you send to them are from you. We're also going to generate a private key. This is all going to happen at once. You're going to keep that safe. It's like the ring. It allows you to decrypt messages encrypted to your public key and sign messages so that you can verify that so that others can verify that they are from you. So any sort of creation is happening from the private key, and any verification is happening using the public key. Algorithms that use both public and private keys are inherently more secure because the private key just never should be on the internet at all. That's always local. It's always used just in your machine to generate new stuff and like to make signatures to encrypt messages and that sort of thing. So the way to do this, if you have all of my commands that I'm going to run are GPG. If you followed my instructions just now, the actual binary that you want to use is GPG21. And if you followed my instructions from the other day and didn't follow the instructions that I just did now, the binary that you want to use is GPG2. I've just got an alias to GPG because that's much easier. So if you're on the second version, all of these instructions are made for the 2.1 modern branch. If you were using something else, I can help you, but it's going to slow everybody down. So just let me know if you need that. The first thing that you will see is this prompt. It's asking you what kind of key you want to create. It's sort of confusing. It's asking you, because you're creating two different keys, it's asking you what algorithms you want to use, what hashing algorithms you want to use to create them. RSA and RSA, so the first one is the private and the second one is the public. The default here is a good option. That's what I recommend. If you know something I don't, feel free to use a different option. So just put in one there, press enter. The next question, it's going to ask you, do you have a question? It's going to ask you how large you would like your hash to be. So this is for the RSA option. Bigger is better. You might have an 8,000 number, 8192, something. You're welcome to use that. 4096 is the largest that my computer would let me do. That's the size that I recommend. 2048 is secure today. In 5 years, it will likely not be from a sophisticated attacker. They will be able to break it in a reasonable amount of time. So 4096 will be secure for much longer than that. The next step asks you how long you would like your key to be valid. So this is sort of a scary question. I can tell you that it's not necessarily going to ever expire on you. When I built Meetup, I did 0 because I didn't want to have to really deal with this, but that was not a great decision. So what I recommend is to do like a year. So what this is doing is it's letting you limit how long your key will be valid. It's possible to refresh the key before it actually expires to reset the expiration date on it. So as long as you do that before it expires, you won't lose, your key will not become useless as it would otherwise. But if you lose access to your secret key and nobody else has access, which means that you forget your passphrase, you reformat your computer, you don't have the file anymore, this will let it automatically expire after whatever period that you set. Most of my coworkers have an expiration. I recommend that you do have one. Just remember to refresh it. Maybe set yourself a calendar reminder for a week or whatever before it happens. Once you've finished with that prompt, once you've added whatever you want, it's going to ask you for a user ID. So user ID is a name, an email address, and a comment. I can think of no reason you would ever want to comment. If you can, feel free to use one. This is going to be the primary user ID on your key. So I recommend not using a work email or a Gmail email. If you own a domain, and will likely continue to own that is the email that I recommend that you use for this first one. You can add other ones afterwards. Like I said, I can't really think of a reason for a comment, but if you would like to use one, feel free. Once you've filled in all three of those things, it'll ask you if you want to change any of them. You can press O to say that you don't want to and that you are okay. Now you'll be asked for a passphrase. It's like a password, but it's longer. It is still the weakest part of any of this stuff, so make sure that you make it as strong as you can. This can be changed later. I recommend that you rotate it and make sure nobody is watching while you type it right now, or over it. Have I gotten ahead of anything?
Yeah, so like what happens when you change your passphrase and then that changes your private key?
It does not change your private key.
Does it change your public key?
Doesn't change either.
Does it change anything?
So basically,
is it a deceit for the algorithm that generates the two keys?
Nope. So the private key combined with somebody else's public key to create a shared key that's used for stuff. The private key on your disk is encrypted, and that is what this is. So if you set a passphrase and you are encrypting on your disk with a one-way or a two-way encryption, a password encryption, probably TrueCrypt or something like that. I don't know exactly what they use. But it encrypts the file that will then be decrypted to create encryption keys to use in PGP.
So you can change the passphrase as often as you want, and it changes neither your public or your private keys.
That's correct.
So it should be easy to type and very long.
Yes. Provided that you're going to change it off. Where did I lose you? Can I help you catch up?
I just get, say, when I do GPG full gen key, then I get invalid option.
Gen key worked for me, not full gen key.
Okay. I tried.
So like I said, if you're on an older version, then the commands are a little bit different. So what you want is just gen key.
But I tried that, thank you.
You're getting a no pin entry on the passphrase portion.
You have to install the keychain and the passphrase.
If your version is less than 2.1, try installing GPG-agent, and that'll give you. And then you have to type GPG agent to start it up. And that's a daemon that will run in the background. You might need that in a different terminal or something. I'm not sure if it gets background or not. This is what it looks like if you have successfully done something. If you see this. So what it's showing you here is your hashing algorithm, RSA 4096, your key ID, which is the last 8 characters of your fingerprint, and your fingerprint, which is combined with the hashing algorithm, a unique identifier for your key. If anybody is stuck now, we should get you caught up, so please let me know, and I will help you.
We stop it. So I didn't choose 496, I choose
That's fine.
20.
So mine is 2048, just because it's older. This is obviously just a throwaway example key.
problem? Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Most of the time I do that.
That's cool.
Those doubts. They want me to do doubts. The president won't really, so I'm not leaving, so. We have a guy for a little bit every day with us. Been working from home for a year, 2 months now.
Hello.
Oh, no. That's
I just was like, oh, I care about Thompson. They're looking at oh, yeah, and I meant, me, I don't want to be one that's
Yeah.
I didn't think it was gonna be so hard pairing. Really paired down, but I didn't know that was all day. So at first I thought, oh, okay. Because it might work in an office. So go all day, on here, because I'm doing
Your home, you can also do that space. Keyboard, chips.
I really got sick, so hardly, but I didn't think I was just answers, and I got sick, but I didn't answer.
That's good. It's just running inside.
Then my code, I'm like, what did I do with my code? Gosh, goodness.
He's a machine.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Okay, I have no idea why the pin entry thing isn't working, but if you are on a Mac, then GPG Tools seems to be working. If you can get to the website.
Yeah.
That's IMS.
So I just went through this with Kyle. He was able to generate a key. Once this was installed, you can just go back to the directions that I gave you, and then you get a pop-up for the passphrase entry.
I think it's still generating a key. Is it broken?
Oh, crap. If you are not on a Mac, it will take a while.
Yeah, you can tell me that.
So it take hours before. Actually, okay, there's a script. It's called RGN tools. You can install that.
Yeah. So
you run sudo rngd-r space.
So the problem is that you don't have enough randomness in your system. And so you need a tool to generate more randomness in your system.
It's
So
telling me to type on the screen and wave my mouse and
yep,
can generate.
because that's doing like random things on your computer.
Yeah,
So
playing games is a good idea.
Solitaire.
What does it mean? Hey, what does that mean? Like, what does the other processes have to do with the one that's created?
So anything that needs small amounts of randomness at a time will be constantly grabbing that randomness out of like dev random.
Okay.
And things that need large amounts of randomness at a time, like what we're doing right now, get blocked by all of those smaller things pulling out. Literally, they pulled the entropy out of your system. So you need an entropy generator. So have GED is one, arc for random is another. If you're on BSD, arc for random is probably the answer. Otherwise, try have GED.
Have GED?
Yes. HAVE-GED.
Stuff happens elderly. It's a weird thing.
So GPG, this suite just gives us a GUI to.
GPG Tools gives you a GUI as well, and you could use that for just about everything. I've never used it, so none of my instructions will use it, but presumably since it's a GUI, it is simpler and you might be able to figure it out.
But what's on the command line? Once I generate a key, then I get the ID and sub, and presumably I'm ready to go.
All right, once you've got that, so here is your key. Copy that. After the 4096 hours. That's right.
I'm on. Oh yeah. Oh, you mean
that's your key ID?
The HP thing? Yeah. What? Are you on the Debian or whatever it is? I'm on the
send the keys.
I might have to find a yum version.
Okay. So you published your key, which means that it will propagate the
Poster 60 SSL invalid cert chain.
Were you able to get onto the workload? It's a protocol just for keys.
Oh, I got it right. Yeah, I guess it's right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Cool. Thanks, man.
So this is that 10% encrypted. I can send that. Put that in the IAM. It's great to send passwords or something.
So all we needed to do was point to the sort file.
Yeah, so I will tune this. So I just changed the order. So send keys will take the rest of the arguments. So whatever your current default is not working. So I'm just going to change that for your order.
So we put that key server in as the default.
GPG is on mail on my Macintosh. Mail is hooked to the main account, Mike 49 Mercury. But the encryption is hooked to the better.
So it means I've created it now.
So you created it, you pushed it up, and so key servers are sort of like DNS, where they're getting round robins, even though you're hitting the same thing, you're actually hitting different servers. And then all of the key servers talk to each other. So right now, they're going to start propagating it between them. And hopefully by the time that other people here need to download it, it'll have gotten to wherever they're trying.
So where are the private public keys on my local server?
They are in this
Just right out of here. Just like SSH.
Would have just been better if we got this on the intake.
then I wouldn't open that file because then it's the file.
Semantic has a feature.
But yeah, I mean, it's a directory, so it's not something you would ever look at.
But how do I get that? Don't I send the public key? Right?
So
So I need to have the public key in order to send it, right?
Oh, right. And GPG does offer that, so.
This was a lot easier in 1991 when I first used codes.
What is your? So now that file is up, we can upload that.
So that's a text file. Public key ask is. There you go. Yeah. Got it. Cool.
Anybody else? Questions? Comments?
Rule number 1 in software sales is demos never work.
They never work. Have people been able to generate keys? If you are still generating a key, actually tell me. Okay.
Yeah, it took like 5 seconds. Yeah, so I try to reinstall. I think what I need is an actual Rubyists installer. I got still.
Here's a Windows installer. We can have Keep Austin.
I'm out. So I was going to install a Penetry program and then edit a config file.
So the Penetry there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, dude, trying to open as many windows as they could and close them all.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's actually what my hard drive.
Oh really?
Yeah, back and forth.
Well, that's what you're talking
I don't know. I haven't really tried to do the disk encryption. I only really use it for like, I like a lot of remote servers and stuff. So I always use it for file or
A more common French.
Yeah, totally. Well, I mean, I feel like it might be if you do some disconnecting software, they might have like a way that you can get it for the every time you try to open up the image.
If you have a key at this point, you should have seen some output that looks similar to this. This number here after the slash, no matter what's before, after the slash and before the date, is your key ID. Copy that number. It's a hex number.
The one after the backslash?
// yes.
Or // there.
Once you've copied that, we're going to run this command, gpg --send -keys, space, and paste in that key ID. Now what that does is it sends it up to a key server. If that causes a problem, let me know. I can fix that for you. What that does is it sends it up to a key server. Key servers function on round-robin load balancing, meaning that you're sending it to different key servers. They will talk to each other. So we're doing this now so that by the end of this, we should be able to pull down keys for each other. Keep Austin hacking.
A lot of these things keys.
It's okay.
Once you push it up, we're going to go over a few other things while the servers propagate between themselves, and then we'll pull them down.
So
The slides for this, by the way, they're an older version, but they should have all of the instructions if I'm jumping around or anything, are up here. It's speakerdeck.com/Caleb Thompson. You should be able to find it from there.
So I get a message saying, before I send my key up to the server, that I should issue a revocation certificate.
That is good advice. We're not doing that right now. So what a revocation certificate will do is it creates a text file.
I know what it does.
What tool are you using that does that?
I'm using PGP for Windows.
Nice.
Win for it.
So for those of you that don't know, a revocation certificate allows you to revoke the file, revoke your public key. So it creates a certificate now that will let you, that you can push up to a key server so that you can say, I lost access to this, I'm sorry, nobody try and do this anymore. Then when people do pull down and update your key, they will know that you have said, or somebody who had access to that file has said that the key is no good anymore. And they will stop using it.
So we just sent a key to a server. Who controls those servers?
So what you sent is your public key to a key server. So probably the one that you sent it to was GNUPG.org, keys.GNUPG.org. So that one is GNUPG, but it's going to propagate out to all of the other ones too, because they all talk to each other. That's part of the spec, is that they'll interchange all of those keys. So even if you weren't using that one, and I am, eventually it'll get to the server that I want, so that if I want to pull yours down. But regardless, all you sent was your public key. So even if it's some malicious person, and I'm sure there are malicious people running key servers, they're not really getting it. Okay.
Anybody else getting no route to host?
Okay. We saw that.
Yours is so much bigger than mine.
The file that has your configuration is tilde/.gnupg/gpg.conf. So if you're getting that no route to host thing, this is probably why. This will work. So if you've got 2 lines in there, remove the longer one. I would use either of these 2, not both. I can make that bigger if we need to. homes.gnupg.gpg.com. And then just do a search for key server.
Send it to,
Okay, I misjudged the amount of time that we will have. I have probably a couple more hours of content, and nobody wants to be here.
Yes, we have till 9, because I figured this would count as part of our pair programming bit. We'd be doing this.
Yeah, but I still have a couple more hours of content. There's only one more hour.
You have a
of time.
newsletter, huh?
Do that at handlebar.
So we have 2 options. We can work on encrypting messages, sort of academically, just on the command line. This is not the way that you would actually probably end up using it, or we can do a key signing part. Key signing? That's the fun thing.
Yeah, let's party.
All right. So I'm going to power through these to give you an idea of what we're talking about, and then we will do that. All right, so signing a key, what is it and how? Signing uses the same mechanisms as we would have talked about for signing a message, which means that you know who has signed and what they signed, so that you know you can verify that I signed Mason's key. It has a different semantic meaning. It asserts that I have checked Mason's driver's license, that I have checked that Mason controls the key, that I have the correct key, and I've verified that he can, what did I say? Ownership, can use the private key. And it's less common to actually do the ownership step because that would mean sending a bunch of emails and lots of extra steps. At the end, there's a blog post that I wrote. It has instructions on how to actually do that if you are interested. Signing announces to the world that you trust this person to verify things. It does not say how much you trust them. And you can, because if a bunch of people have said that they trust this person to do the right thing, then you can say you are more likely to know one of those people, and you're more likely to just say, well, a bunch of people said that he's probably a good person, so he must be. That he knows what's going on. Signing is fundamental to the web of trust. Webs of trust look like this. The pink one is me. All of the lines are people who have signed. Arrows are the signatures. So these are a bunch of coworkers of mine. This is the command to do it. GPG, sign key, ask cert level. GPG has great search, so if you just put in a name, it should be able to find it for you, but this is only for keys that you already have. So you can't do this yet. The first thing, this is sort of what you will see when it comes up. You will see a key fingerprint. You will see a name and an email address. Terrence, if were he here, would tell me from his computer what his key fingerprint is. I would read that on my computer so that I would know that I have the right key. Then I would say I trust him to do at least casual checking or to do very careful checking. These things can mean whatever you want them to. I have not checked at all. Why are you signing this key then? I have done casual checking. I'm sorry, this is not how much you trust him to do it. This is how much checking you've actually done. I've done casual checking, so this could be, I see a business card and it's got his picture on it, or I see a business card and he's handed it to me, so it's probably him. I see that he controls the Twitter account or Campfire or email address. I have not actually checked this person's ID. 3, I have checked this person's passport and driver's license. I know that they are actually the right person. This, for me, this is, and I've talked to other people about this, this is sort of like saying in court that this is the person that they say they are, and that they control this key. So you would put in a number here. You can't see that. You would put in a number here that matches up to one of those things. 0 is the default, but we passed that extra argument so that it would actually ask. So it's going to ask you, are you sure that you actually want to do this? It's going to repeat to you what you said. So I said 2. I have checked casually. Somehow I need to get this key to Terrence so that, and to everybody else to prove that I have signed it. This is the easy way. That's his key ID now. So this is the same command that we just ran to send up our key ID. We're saying that we want to send up his key ID now that we have signed it. This is the pragmatic way to do this. Now I mentioned that we wanted to control, that part of signing was that you might be saying that this person actually controls IDs. To do that, you could sign each of the keys separately. You could export each of the keys. You could delete it from your system, re-import it, sign the next user ID. Each of those things you would export to a file. You would email and encrypt it to that person so that they could then decrypt it, add it to their key by importing it, and push it up themselves. Pain in the ass. I have instructions for it. I've done it. So if you want to do that, that's cool. I will show you the blog post and you can follow those instructions to do so. All right, this is how you get my key for your first key signing. This is downloading the key. So GPG -recv -keys A0AC E70A. These are hex numbers.
Does that change if more people sign your key? No. Like, do you need to constantly be updating?
So the signet keys signed, the file format is such that a new signature is added onto the end of the key.
Okay.
But PGP knows, okay, well, this is the key part, and then here's all of the signatures. So the key part, the public key part, doesn't change. Raise your hand if you are still doing this. All right. This says sign my key. That's not what this is actually doing. Right now we are verifying that this is the right person. So we're going to do GPG fingerprint and then my email address, Caleb at calebthompson.io. It should show you some output that looks like this. It should have this key fingerprint. I will read it to you. So this step verifies that you got from the key server the key that I wanted you to get. B432 C068 2FD1 C2D0 6A8B. You should be reading along. 39511621 ADC2 A0AC E70A. Like I said before, the last 8 are the key ID that I just told you to get. We're going to skip over trusting. It's not as important.
We trust you.
Whoa, that's.
This is how the rest of you are going to do this. We're going to come up to the podium with our laptops. We are going to tell people how to get our key ID or tell people our key ID. We're going to read people our fingerprint. Let's see if I can. Sorry? Okay, so actually signing also brings up the fingerprint. No, it doesn't. Actually signing brings up this prompt. If you are satisfied that the fingerprint that I just read you is the fingerprint that you looked at, and that this is me,
Looks good.
then you can say yes.
What is it? Sort of like
Maybe it's like they're commenting. Yeah. You know, library card or something.
I guess.
So, what are we doing next week?
Not that fast. There you go. Yeah, very. First person has memory. Copy it, yeah. Yeah. I can. What's up? Oh, you mean the invite thing?
No, I'm saying like, you know how he was saying.
Yeah, I did. Using that general command that he had.
I can probably
Yeah.
5 years. All right, then if you are satisfied, then you can say yes to this. I will not do that because I can't sign my own key. I can, but I won't. Then you would run this again. A0, PGP send keys, A0 AC, E70A. That will push it back up to the key server so that other people know that you have signed it. Yes.
I have a question. Does anybody know how to choose a specific private key to sign with?
Yeah, GPG-U, and then the fingerprint of the private key. If you have one, okay, yeah.
Okay,
I got it.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have accidentally lost my number and I don't know what the ID for my key is. How can I get that?
GPG list keys.
Thank you. GPG dash list keys?
Everything is going to be double hyphen and hyphen separate.
Well, I had two base one. So that's what I signed up for. So why is me? I just wanted to see your middle.
Great. If somebody else would like to go through that whole process,
So, what am I doing here? I'm going to give my key number.
so I think it might be easiest if I just.
It's KDE.
Sure.
It's just like the French for it. Yeah, so it's got like an important thing. Yeah, that's hard.
My number is.
So where is send keys or something?
69, D68, D86.
I'm just gonna do this and do it later. The same.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So 69.
Yeah, 69, D86. I'm sorry, 69, D68.
Oh, that's there's my.
I can send you one.
Just like it number.
Okay.
68, 86, yeah.
Is there any way to like show the key before you download it in your off the server?
You could go to those. There are browsers, like there are websites that have it on. Okay.
I don't know what it's last for.
I think it's something I never closed it.
All right. So
Yeah, cool.
for the next victim,
Yeah, great.
GPG receive keys, RECV hyphen keys, 69D6, 8D86.
Oh.
And then Michael is going to read us his fingerprints.
Whenever you're ready.
Is anybody still getting this key? Who would like to get this key?
Yeah, 2 seconds.
All right, fingerprint, please.
Fingerprint is, drum roll, 7D1D, 4CD7, CF1C, 35159129, 43562980, 909469D6 8D86.
Your identification.
My identification phone.
ID card or passport or something like that.
Oh my! I didn't bring a passport.
I did bring a passport in case anybody wanted to see that instead.
But I do have this state of Texas driver's license, right? If you want to test.
Oh, accept it. It says Michael Bruce Scott.
Bourbon.
I'm sure it's fine.
I meant that.
Anybody else?
Yeah, are we supposed to do that yet? No. It's gonna show us that. I think I got it. Yeah, what's that Keybase thing do?
How do I do with it?
That's
mine.
Cool. Yeah. So you like connect your account to it. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Send me that in your.
All right, so.
Really? You were saying about this? Okay, so I should have two. I've got the latest one that I just did today.
Okay, so the next one is D4ED, dead 405F. And Tom will read us his fingerprints.
What's the just D405F?
D4ED.
D4ED.
405F. And now the full fingerprint is EC 9D 6438 8E0E C228 E2DC 829D 286B 5562 D4ED 405F.
This Texas driver's license says Thomas Baxter Brown and has a picture of this guy on it.
Get an error when I can see this key.
D4EF.
Yes.
D4ED.
I'm sorry, yeah, D4ED 405F.
Yeah.
It has a time warp problem. Key was created 514,596 seconds in the future.
Like a year in the future.
Oh my goodness.
That looks like a time zone problem.
What's my time on now?
Will never expire now.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's fine.
In case the time is wrong on my Bluetooth machine.
Is it creation always UTC?
I don't see it.
Yeah, but her timestamp, like the time on her computer is wrong.
I only see a date.
The time on your computer is right. Somehow she's a week behind.
I'm sure that that's what it is. It's just the
Yeah,
creation dates.
I'm like trying to be Rails stuff, but yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, that's like great. I've moved up to check twice. But I'm more of like Reddit and stuff, right? Like the last year, VR stuff like that.
Okay, I was
You want to get on that?
The next chapter is really heavy.
Yeah, and I haven't played too many games. I'm very delinquent.
Yeah, I mean, it gets really used to how Rails methodology works and like where everything goes. And yeah, the helpers and everything is really complicated, especially when you get a lot. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I mean, I think once you get through that, everything else is like a lot easier. But as a result, one of those games. Yeah. Well, I mean, I know they do that. Their Angular course is free. And that's some people mix that with Rails now. But the main thing you want to learn there, I think, is SAS, because Rails is heavy on SAS.
I got it.
Sorry.
Oh no!
I'll take it.
Oh yeah, you should.
I'll take care of it.
Oh yeah, you should definitely like take a deep dive in CSS as soon as you're through with that tomorrow thing. There's so much cool stuff with CSS now. Like all the bootstrap.
Easier way to look at keys now, like based on email or anything.
Yeah, you can do search keys. You can do,
like,
I want to quote it, you can do like email, name, and stuff like that. This is nominally more secure because you're getting part of the fingerprint at the end.
So we're kind of Rubyists, but if you're already getting Ruby, it's been a fun detour.
No, her ID matches her name. So you trust me to do that.
I know. Yeah, it really like takes like your mind to it. Like I'll do it for like 2 hours and be like, oh my god, I feel like I should do this.
So this second prompt is because she's ahead of the class and has more than one user ID. So it just asks you if you want to sign all of them because you put down a signature for each.
That's 688 that we're looking at.
6881A0AA.
Yeah. It's D8, C4, D8, D17, BBB, E018D, 35A, 03ABF, 883, 19ED, 688, 1A0AA.
Next. Mason, get up here. Mason's is A640-8085. Unless you just made a new one. Nope.
This is one. This is up here.
So this is the next key ID.
Okay.
66EB, 64BB, 0BF5F, B9A6, 8932, 02CC, C2DD, A0C5, A640, AD85.
These are the fingerprints, is that what we're
So yeah, the first number is the key ID, which is the last bit of the fingerprint, then he's reading off the fingerprint. So the idea is that you're following along as he reads it so that you can verify the numbers. I've already signed this one.
Is this mine?
It sure is.
Oh, wow.
So we have key ID is going to be 884A, 194C.
Fingerprint? 2BFB 6654, 358B, 5B62, B499, D2E8, A96C, 5810. Read the last four.
And the last four are the first numbers that we already gave.
Okay.
We don't really need this. Or the last one. And then, can I see your ID real quick? Looking at your fingerprint. All right, Texas driver's license, Michael Edward Marota.
AD4A194C.
AD4A194C, yes.
8D4A194C, public key not found.
It may
I'm
be-
sorry, that's, maybe it was AD4, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got it, okay.
But I figured this week an opportunity to show you guys Keybase. Have you heard of Keybase?
I'm anti-Keybase.
You're anti-Keybase for what?
But you can feel free to show others.
Okay. Well, I would like you to explain your anti-Keybase reasons. I didn't upload my private key if that's something that bothers me as well.
So the problem is that Keybase will let you and encourages you to upload your private key.
But I'm not going to do that.
Means that anybody using Keybase, I can't trust them not to.
Exactly, because then Keybase has compromised the private keys, basically.
Right, so as soon as you say, oh, hey, I've verified myself on Keybase, I say, I don't trust you anymore.
Okay, well, can I show you anyways? All right.
Over here.
So how do I find you?
Okay. How do I get up? Oh,
You sort of have to like turn your head.
oh, is it right there? Okay. All right, I'm using Keybase, which is a, hold on, let me show you. Okay, so this is Keybase. It's a new thing that's gonna basically get a public key, and you can use your social media usernames to share your public key. So I can't upload my key to the key server just due to technical issues with the internet right now. So I have mine right here. Oh, you can't read my transfer is broken. Alright. Okay, so this is me. My handle is silent3. If you go to this URL right here, you can actually see my public key by clicking this. And then from here you can click on this link, which is my entire public key, which you would then have to save to a text or save the whole page and then import it through the command line. Yeah, that's me no button. It's alright, man. But
It's silent. You want to talk.
Silent Fleet.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to be able to look it up.
This is his key ID. So you can do GPG receive keys 23ED F6D2, just like we have been doing.
FC32.
Bring it.
Oh wait, yeah, I have it. Alright. Okay.
23. Say that again, please.
23ED F6D2.
It may or may not know.
23ED F6D2.
Nope. Yeah. Well, it's already up on a key server.
Oh.
Keybase is a key server.
I didn't know if it was a separate.
No.
Okay, alright.
Okay, so you can't do anything with this. This is useless to you.
I was then manually importing it. It's okay.
Can you like?
Isn't Keybase a key server?
Yeah, but
Apparently,
if you have a Keybase utility on, like you can do Keybase search and then.
Keybase doesn't play nicely with others, I guess.
Oh, so you can't add it as a key server to your.
I mean, I can't. It's just I can't get on the internet right now.
Oh no, I mean like everybody else.
I'm not sure.
Actually, I can probably send yours out. Oh, here's your.
That's what I was saying. Like, you guys just go to the URL and download my .asc file. and then import that random.
Oh, look at that. I found the cable. We know it's in.
E0AC, E70A, Caleb@thoughtwell.com, Caleb at CalebThompson.io, cjason@gmail.com. I can tell you my fingerprint is on at Caleb Thompson on Twitter.
Okay, so what I did, I went to keys and sorry, key, search for key, and you can put in somebody's name. I put in Nola and got all kinds of hits that probably weren't her. But when I put your name in, first and last name, I found
We're now on a key service. But that'll take forever to get back up. So if you tell people, actually, if you tell me what your fingerprint is, then
Okay, yeah. Finger. Okay. Right from the beginning. 9F56 B898 23B7 1355 093D 5E90 BCGD 1C 6D 23ED F6D.
check the IP on that.
And I have DNA samples.
Paul, Elias, Aldwin.
Yes.
Which is what that says.
So I would still get a no key receipt.
Yeah, you will not be able to find his key.
Because it's gonna propagate.
Because it has to propagate out. But I just sent out a key. He says that it is his key. And I have signed it, and we have co-signed, we have signed each other's keys. So because of that, going back to that like big graph thing, he is now in your web of trust, and that is useful to you. Okay, anybody else? No, get over here. All right, next one is 9242 F105.
Yes.
I never uploaded the others. But when I tried to find someone.
This says Nola Gene Sub and has a picture of Nola on it. What was that?
So yeah, right next to
You want to see my fingerprint?
Sing them out.
ACDC.
ACD.
6.
Oh, yeah. C5847FF 0 ECA B802 B91E E915 B5 B6 9242 F105. It would be cool if it had ACDC in that, huh?
That would be pretty nice.
Wait, I was gonna read up the screen.
It's still there.
Oh, great.
ACD6, CA58, 47FF, OECA, E802, B91E, E915, B5, B6.
The president has one. I just found Barack Obama's key.
I promise it's not him.
I would not pull that down.
All right, we have another half hour of this, or we can go drink beer.
I want to, how do, so you sent me a message, how do I
Okay, let's encrypt.
unencrypt it? I did it when I was 16, but I can't remember it all.
All right. This hyphen at the end is important because it tells GPG that it's going to read from the internet. It will do that anyways, but it is built so that this is more secure.
Oh yeah. No, well, the crazy thing with this KGPG thing is all I have to do is type in the last 8 and it'll go find it off the key servers. But with yours, I downloaded it manually, so that's why I have it already. So in that one, I just straight up report the key.
You need to do -R.
Well, signing the key just tells your system that you trust it.
Okay, so how do I push it off the key server?
Well, you don't need to. That's like it's just pertinent for your.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like if I don't know how the network.
Actually, don't know.
If you're using some sort of network, it would check to see who's signed this key.
Okay.
And that's like public information, I think.
Okay.
So it's probably already happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I bet I have slides for it.
Hey, look, can you show the bin file for the config of the servers?
It is in my dot files on GitHub.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that key server.
Yeah.
And then HKP://.
Okay. Keys.newpg.net.
Org.
Org.
All right, there's signing.
Bro, somebody messed with my shit.
I guess I didn't do it. I have all of this configured in Mux so that it just happens when we buy it. All right, encrypt. Oh, recipients. That's the problem.
Is there an option flag or an option? Oh, that's.
Nola, what's your email address?
Nola@rubyists.com.
So you need to ASCII armor with -8.
It's just
just copy this off of the screen and.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna email this to you. Alright, hoot. Once you get that, you can just copy that. You can do GPG hyphen output, space hyphen to output to your terminal. You can do decrypt hyphen again. You can paste that in. That ended in an end of file, which is command D on a line by itself.
So this MyMail crypt, sort of like a Gmail plugin for this stuff.
There is a Gmail plugin. It runs in JavaScript in your browser, which makes me not trust it. Output hyphen. Decrypt.
And besides which, the main idea of running encryption is that Gmail doesn't know what you're sending.
Right.
Whether you trust the JavaScript or not.
So there's that GPG tools thing included GPG mail, which also I haven't used, but that is a local GPG client. You have to put in your password to decrypt it.
Yes, man. It's doing the random thing.
I shouldn't have to do anything. Let me know if that works.
The other cool thing with that GPG tools is it adds a MAC service, so you can highlight any text on your screen, and it will encrypt that selected text using your private key.
Service.
All right, Tim left, but he had one new signature. Mason had at least one new signature. I'm back. Nola had a new signature. So like the things that we have done are actually.
Should have got it bigger now.
I did. But other people are in it too now. So let's see, we've got. Actually, none of you. Laurel isn't here? Paul, Irma, no, that's people in here. So these people haven't yet pushed up their keys, you can tell.
You see me?
You have to be in here. No, here you go.
Yeah, I'm by myself at the bottom.
But I've signed your key.
That's it, that's it.
Just like sending up the keys, it still has to. I'm happy to work with you at some other time. Just like sending up the keys, it has to propagate out to everybody else. So these people have actually ownership of their keys. All right. Anybody else who wants to do this, Cam?
I got a question.
Yeah.
I'm totally missing something. When I do the sign key command, do I need to do another step to like, is there a reason to do another step, or does the sign key take care of everything that I need to do?
So you still have to send it.
I still have to send it, so do I do that with the same?
So that's going to be GPG -send keys, and then the key IDs.
Okay, so for each one I sign, I need to do that same key.
Yep.
Okay.
And you can send them all up. It is non-destructive, or it's idempotent.
Okay.
So you can send up your entire keychain. They don't like you to do that because it's stressful on the servers, but you can send up all of your keys. You just have to enter all of the key IDs.
Okay, so then I can do it all in one line? Okay. Cool.
That's my question. No? Anybody else want to do this? Maybe you want to go drink beers? I'll buy them.
Go home.
Stuff. So you actually like talk to people on PGP?
Anybody whose key I have, who I email with, which is most of them, I always sign and encrypt messages to.
You do the whole thing. You do put the message on the command line.
Nope. So my MUT config, which is an email client, is configured to take care of all of it for me and just say that I want to encrypt and sign it. It will sign all of the messages by default, but it won't encrypt by default because it doesn't know who to encrypt it to. But I can just say, I want you to do that. So, and then it's always encrypted so that there's plenty of noise and not enough signal for people who are actually trying to figure things out. And that and everything else, if you search PGP and you, there's a blog post on robots.thoughtbot.com that has much better instructions than I've given you tonight, and probably instructions for the version that you're actually using. And it also has links to my MUT configuration. I think it discusses how to use GPG mail. Discusses trusting, which we had to glaze over because we ran out of time. I recommend reading it. I wrote it. I spent like 6 months on it. 6 weeks maybe.
What was it?
You search PGP and you. What is the